So this video, oh boy, where to start? Perhaps with a disclaimer, a warning, if you will. You are about to be exposed to a man who is deranged and full of cringe, so bear that in mind. I want to show and go through a video of Keith Olbermann. I will explain after. Oh, before I roll the video, watch his eyes right before he switches to a pair of glasses thicker than Biden's skull, presumably bifocals to read the very obvious script for this obnoxiously piss-poor performance at getting people to take a dodgy shot.
Time to stop coddling the people who won't get the shot. Booster shot. Mission accomplished. And it is. It is time to stop coddling them, the ones who won't get the damn shot already. And our first step, you and I, is symbols, the language we use. We call these people vaccine hesitant, vaccine skeptics, anti-vax. We say they're protesting mandates and passports. They're making a personal choice. They're waiting for more information. They're making a medical decision. Bullshit! They're afraid. They're afraid to get vaccinated. Stop feeding their egos about what they're doing. Stop legitimizing it. Vaccine hesitant, they're afraid. Vaccine skeptics, they're afraid. Anti-vax, they're afraid. They're protesting mandates and passports, they're afraid. They're making a personal choice, they're afraid. They're waiting for more information, afraid. They're making a medical decision to be afraid. The snowflakes are afraid. Afraid of the vaccine. Afraid of being proved wrong. Afraid of doing what anybody else in the world tells them to do. Afraid of needles. So no more pleasant euphemisms about what's going on here. Apart from the people who have legitimate medical complications about vaccines, we have to stop coddling the morons who will not get the shot. We start by calling them what they are. They are all snowflakes and cowards and idiots and losers. And most importantly, they are afraid.
If you need a few moments to get a drink, painkillers, headbutt a wall, or whatever to deal with this much cringe, go ahead, I'll wait. Now, usually I would engage in some profanity-laced rant, chastising this madman for his maniacal and disingenuously stupid points, but I'd like to set that aside for a moment and give my honest opinion of what this man really is and what he represents. Olbermann is a remnant of an increasingly redundant, dying media breed. Bear in mind, this is a man whose heyday was the 80s and the 90s. Far as I'm aware, it was the only time where he accrued any sort of noteworthy accolades for his work, where he was a sports personality, then moved to politics, back to sport, back to politics, becoming increasingly fueled with more rage as the years go by, the inevitable midlife crisis permanently embedded in his psyche. This is a man in his 60s, well past his expiration date, well past his prime. His whole shtick is very much like him, outdated and useless, a man whose entire career health was dependent on the currency of attention, and now his only hope of getting it is to present himself as a mentally ill laughingstock. He is a man ill-prepared, stuck out of time in a new generation, competing against people who are much younger and far more interesting, attempting to interface with the new technology he is hopelessly too old to understand. And as such, he is now relegated to the fringes as the machine he once knew continues to break down. And he further journeys on, embodying the cliched, desperate, pathetic old man trying to recapture the glory days of his old, forgotten youth. And now to ridicule a demented madman. You know, I really should have said this at the end of the video, because now it looks like I'm about to beat a dead horse, and it's a horse I killed. Who cares, he's not gonna do shit. I'm not pricked, he wouldn't come near me either way. Not that I would want to go near him, my word, the amount of spit he produces, the conversation will end with your face looking like you just escaped the set of a bukkake scene. First off, sitting with a mask on, getting the 50 millionth booster shot that will make you grow a third breast before Christmas, yeah, you're really showing off your fearlessness there, you fucking loon. I've said this before, the biggest skeptics of the prick are the ones who took it. Not a single soul who hasn't behaves this erratically. Not a one. Suggesting we're being coddled. We're being coddled for saying, fuck off, leave us alone, we're not taking your this is a bad idea until we get into office shot, approved by a government organization that we don't trust in the first place. Stop me if I'm making too much sense, by the way. The language argument doesn't hold any water either. Frankly, when someone screams at me to the point they somehow get spit on their own face and bypass all of my grievance only to call me afraid because I won't obey the state, yeah, I'm going to hold my ground because the entire drama act leads me to believe I'm probably making the right choice. Fucking hell, the man's projecting so hard his knob might wreck the sound barrier. I don't exactly know why I'm being called afraid by a man who's been boosted more than a car in Compton, when trusting my own immune system seems much more brave and sensible. Then again, look at what we're dealing with. The man hasn't had a full deck since Reagan left the White House, which is quite ironic, actually. Also, can someone please explain to me how I'm scared of being proven wrong, but I want more information, especially when I'm being told to shut up and take it like I'm being coerced by a 300-pound angry gimp? How am I afraid when I'm the one being hounded for just asking for more information? Silencing someone is the tool of fear. But yes, I do not like being told what to do, especially by everyone else, primarily because I regard the masses as complete idiots who are in no position to tell me what to do. And actually, never during this entirely blown out of all proportion fear-induced planned crisis to increase government control over everything did I ever see anyone saying they won't get the prick because they have a fear of needles. That is a new one, admittedly, but the playful euphemisms, you've got to be fucking kidding me. We've only been accused of being selfish bastards and morons because we refuse to adhere to the whims of a mob of cock-gobbling government simps. But now, you're threatening to ramp up your obvious disdain for those of us who refuse to bend the knee because you're all a bunch of limp-wristed bitches who are scared of something that has a less than 2% chance of killing you. You should try and catch the coup sometime. Besides, you're constantly preaching the need for cultural diversity. Try sampling some Chinese imports, you shit-headed xenophobes. Because being hounded, insulted, and dismissing bodily autonomy is a really great tool in a country that prides itself on freedom. This man's got a self-awareness level that would fucking rival Joe Biden, for heaven's sakes. And I swear, this man has never used the word snowflakes as an adjective in his entire life before this demented rambling, because the cringe level when he uses it is overwhelming. And let me just finish this off by saying this. You can lick my polished silver balls if you think I'm going to listen to a mob of rampant spastics who tell me I'm to obey a class of people who contribute nothing to society, lie professionally because being subservient to their wishes is somehow going to restore my freedom. I would sooner take off my top hat, drown your head in it, and clank your noggin with a dumbbell. And that's all for today. Until next time.